Hello, my name is Jenna, and I work for the, are you ready? It's a really long name. I work for the Elkhart County Soil and Water Conservation District. Whew, that's all right, you don't have to memorize that. You can just call me the Super Worm Lady. Now, I brought a friend with me. Would you like to meet him? His name is Walden, but he's very shy, so we have to hold very still. We have to be very quiet. And I brought a special microphone to help us hear him. Are you ready to meet him? Oh, Walden, would you like to meet my new friends?
Ah! Something moved!
Oh, it's okay, Walden. It's just my friends.
Whew! I thought it was a bird trying to get me.
Oh, no, we're not birds, Walden. Hey, do you mind if we ask you a few questions?
Well, sure.
So, the first question I have is, why are you so afraid of birds?
Well, you see, birds like to eat me and my worm family because apparently we make a nutritious snack. Us worms are food to many animals, including birds, moles, skunks, and people even use us for fishing.
Ooh, sorry about that, Walden. Hey, speaking of eating, I hear that worms eat dirt. Is that true?
Oh, hogwash. People think us worms eat dirt, but that's only half of the truth. We eat the things that are in the soil and above the soil. We love to munch on organic matter.
Organic matter? What on earth is that?
Organic matter is the remains of things that were once living, such as leaves, grass, and even bugs. One of my favorite snacks is fungi and mold. I like to slurp up that mold like it's spaghetti noodles.
You know, Walden, I like spaghetti, but when it's moldy, I throw it out.
Us worms love it when you humans throw out old food, especially those fruits and vegetables. We could munch on that stuff all day long. Hey, do you want to know a secret?
Sure, what's that?
Worm poop is magical.
What? I don't know if I believe that, Walden.
Okay, maybe it isn't magical. It doesn't glitter or anything, but worm poop is full of nutrients that plants need to grow. When we eat organic matter, such as a leaf, our little worm bodies can digest it or break it down into little nutrients that plants can use to grow.
Well, why doesn't the plant just suck up the whole leaf if it needs the nutrients from it?
That's not how it works, silly. The leaf is too big and the nutrients are in the wrong form for the plant to use.
I see. So worm poop is really important for growing plants because you can take things that are big, such as a fallen leaf, and break it down into tiny little nutrients for plants to use. You basically make plant food.
Yep. Worms do many things for the soil.
Oh yeah? What else do worms do for the soil?
We create tunnels in the soil that allow air and water to flow through. Did you know those are two other things that plant roots need? Speaking of plant roots, our tunnels also create space for the roots to grow in.
Huh. Well, how do you create your tunnels, Walden?
Us worms create tunnels by eating the soil in front of us, and then we excrete it. That means we poop it out.
Oh, gross, Walden.
When we excrete our waste, it is mixed with mucus, which helps hold the walls of our tunnels. Kind of like mixing cement and water.
Huh. So worm poop is not only important because you give plants food, but you also provide the soil structure. Huh.
Do you see those little dirt balls at the opening of my burrow?
These right here, Walden?
Yep, those are my castings. I use my castings to cover up my burrow, so none of my enemies can get through, and it helps to keep my burrow from filling too full of water. Can you say castings?
Castings. Well, what are worm castings, Walden?
That's my poop.
I wish you would have told me that first, Walden.
Have you ever made a cake?
Well, sure, I've made a few cakes in my day.
You take a big bowl, you add flour, sugar, eggs, oil, vanilla, and chocolate. And then you put it in the oven and bake it, right?
Walden, I think you forgot a step. You have to stir it first.
Of course you do. You have to mix all the layers together to make a scrumdiddlyicious cake. That's what us worms do. We help to mix the soil by taking organic matter from the surface of the soil and burying them deep down. And then we go back up, and then we go back down, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down we go, mixing the soil as we move.
Whew, you're making me a little dizzy there, Walden. Man, you guys are really important for having healthy soil.
We sure are. Man, it sure is bright in here. Don't you humans ever turn off the light?
Well, we prefer to have the light on, Walden, because it helps us to see better.
Not me. I prefer to be where it's dark. The dark reminds me of my home, which is in the soil.
Wait, how do you know if it's light or dark if you don't have any eyes, Walden?
Us worms have sensors all along our body which can sense light. We don't really need eyes to see since we pretty much spend our whole lives underground.
Wait a second. When I introduced my friends earlier, you said something moved. How did you see them move if you don't have eyes, Walden?
Actually, I felt the vibrations of their movement. Us worms don't have ears either, which means we have to feel the vibration instead. So, when you humans are stomping around up there on top, we can feel that and we will move the other way because we don't know if you're a friend or foe.
So wait, worms don't have eyes, you don't have ears, do you have a mouth?
Yes, of course we do, but it's very small, so you can't really see it. Maybe if you hold up that magnifying glass, you can see my mouth.
Oh, sure, no problem, Walden. Walden, people often wonder, how do worms move if you guys don't have arms or legs?
We move by stretching our muscles and then we scrunch them back up. We move like a slinky by stretching forward and pulling the rest of our body forward. We can also move backwards too. We have little tiny hairs along our bodies.
You got some cool looking hair there, Walden.
If you ever tried to pull one of us worms out of our tunnels, you might have had trouble because those hairs are so strong and help us hold onto the soil.
Huh, I'll keep that in mind next time I go digging for some worms.
Whew, I am parched. Would you mind giving me a spritz?
Oh, sure, no problem.
Us worms need to stay moist in order for us to breathe. We don't breathe through our mouth, and we don't have a nose, so we have to breathe through our skin. Being moist helps us to take air in through our skin, but too much water and we will drown.
Huh. You know, worms are so different from us, but yet you still require air, water, and food, just like us. Huh. Now, Walden, I would like to know a little bit more about where you come from. Can you tell us the importance of soil?
Oh, why, yes I can. Soil is a place for plants to grow and is home to many things.
Oh, I wonder what lives in this soil. Maybe a groundhog or a ground squirrel, and maybe even snakes and bugs and insects. Walden, what else is soil needed for?
Soil also provides food for plants, which humans need too. Soil helps to absorb, filter, and hold water. For example, after it rains really hard, healthy soil can soak up the water like a sponge rather than causing floods downstream. Humans also use soil for building things.
Oh man, we use soil to build all kinds of things. Now, Walden, I know you're probably ready to get back to your burrow, helping to make our soil healthy, but I have just a few more questions for you.
Just a few more questions, and then I need to get back to work, making soil healthy.
So first question, now I think my friends can see it, but you have this pink ring around your body. Can you tell us what that is?
Oh, you mean my clitellum. That is the structure that us worms grow when we get big enough. Young worms don't have them. This structure will eventually form a cocoon around my body. I will wiggle out of this cocoon and tiny little eggs will be housed. These eggs will then hatch into new tiny worms called wormlets.
Wormlets. Isn't that such a cute name for baby worms? Hey, in northern Indiana, we get really cold winters and our ground freezes. Where do worms go in the wintertime?
Worms bury deep into the soil below the frost line. The frost line is where the soil is no longer frozen solid and warmer for us worms.
And how long do earthworms live for?
About 2 to 5 years on average. I just happen to be 3 years old.
You're already middle-aged there, Walden. Hey, do worms have bones?
Nope. That is why we are able to twist and turn and wiggle around like we do.
I wish I could wiggle like Walden. Oh, I probably should have asked this question first, but do worms bite?
We can't. Our mouths are too small.
Whew, that's good to know.
Want to hear a joke?
Sure, I love a good joke, Walden.
What is a worm's favorite holiday?
I don't know. What is it?
Valentine's Day.
Not sure I quite understand that joke, Walden.
It's Valentine's Day because we have 5 hearts. It isn't funny when you have to explain it. Oh well.
Good joke, Walden. Hey, Walden, get this. I hear that if you cut a worm in half, you have 2 whole new worms. Is that true?
What? Why would you want to do that? No! If you cut a worm in half, you will have 2 pieces of a dead worm. Us worms only have the ability to grow a small portion of our tail back. This way, if a bird gets a hold of it, we can escape by releasing our tail.
Well, sorry about that, Walden. I will no longer cut worms in half because you guys don't survive. Hey, why are earthworms pink?
Earthworm skin doesn't really have a color. So the pink you see is the blood running through our bodies.
Huh, interesting. Well, Walden, I know you're a busy guy trying to make our soil healthy, so I just want to say thank you for taking time out of your busy day to answer our questions.
It was my pleasure. Now, back to the soil I go!
Bye, Walden. See you later. Man, he is just such a smart guy. Now, if you would like Walden to come visit your classroom in Elkhart County, please contact the Elkhart County Soil and Water Conservation District. Thank you.